picks right now in this meta that really crush it. Like, is he going to play Gwen here? He might. I mean, they have a TF in mid. It could work.
It's Gwenable,
I think that might be the pick I'd prefer most here for Scion Nongshim Red Force, because somebody's got to cut through that Scion health. And this Jace, I think, isn't going to be that guy. I don't think he's going to be that pick for me. No. We have seen this actually struggle so much into the Scion.
Thankfully, it's Ambassador instead. And it's weird that I say that, because Ambassador has not been finding very much success at all. It's just better than Jace. I'm still not exactly enthralled.
Starts to build up experience lead like he has right now, then can really start to put the pressure on. And we do see a TF ult.
Yeah, in goes Scout, and there's no flash on FaZe as well, so he's not getting out of the Cataclysm. A very dead Ashe here, and Nongshim are on the board.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, FaZe doesn't have flash here, so there isn't a whole lot of outplay he can make once he's in range of that gold card coming through, but maybe a bit more communication from Faker could have prevented this situation, but it's a really good read here from Scout, gets down and helps set that one up. So perhaps a caster blessing of the TF in this case?
Yeah, perhaps. That's almost a steal away here for Ona, who now has flash on cooldown. He's not getting out of here unless they can fight their way out. True Shot Barrage to take down Carrier, but it's traded immediately as Sponge will go down. Realm Warp looking for Diablo as well as he flashes to get himself out of the way. No Root is going to help peel for that. And that is a dead Diablo and another kill over to Faker.
I think this is a great utilization. Complete here for FaZe. See if what he can buy on this back, because he is actually going to be stopped.
Yeah, Sponge actually able to stop him there, as now Scout looking for a little bit of an angle. There is the Encore. Doesn't quite work out there, as they were looking for Sponge, in fact, as Ona is now taking a lot. Sponge flashes out of the way, very close to dead, and the Pop Blossom is going to connect onto 3. Scout will be going down, though, as Faker finds that 1v1, and now Ona gets his revenge. Win doesn't become lightning onto Diablo, but I think it's going to be just fine here for T1 as they find a phenomenal team fight just before the Drake.
God, Diablo is insane, by the way. He is not going to get this kill, but he's got True Shot. Maybe he actually does? No way, he actually lines it up, right?
Surely.
Kill pays in any situation. Look at the boots of choice here for Diablo. He's got his carry pants on. He knows what he's got to do.
The gluten is coming out as now Carrier. Oh, the flash actually towards FaZe here as they do look to capitalize on that lack of flash, but unfortunately, it just does not work. Doran going to show up here as well as Kingin going to be held in position and wiped out. Ona is dealing with Scout towards the north of the fight, and Pletter and Diablo now just wondering what the heck they're supposed to do. Ona flashes in the end as Diablo gets out of the way of the Wind Becomes Lightning, but T1, they should be able to deal with this outer turret. The gold lead is just going to explode, and it looks like their form from yesterday has carried over.
Isn't it crazy when sometimes when you say something on a cast?
They want to start something, but they're just not quite able to find it. As now Kingin looking to do battle with Doran here. That's a level disadvantage, and it takes a while to get through him.
Okay, here comes a really optimistic TF and ult.
Yeah, Scout is just going to get turned on here by FaZe. Does actually make it out. No! Calculated there on the red buff tick. As FaZe now throws the arrow out, and the Arcane Shift isn't going to be enough to get Diablo out of it. It's a triple here for FaZe as he's on the warpath looking for even more. Kingin will not find the public execution, but he might find the pentakill here for FaZe, who picks it up at 22 minutes in game number 1.
All right. That'll put a cap on this one. His owner's already starting up the Baron.
Yep.
Okay, well, 10,000 gold lead here at 22. We are very much in a GG territory here as Faker's all really well set up by the rest of his squad, but he'll be the one who gets the big fancy icon as here comes Diablo.
Yep, doesn't quite get the value there as the Pop Blossom only connects onto Ona as a response. Still, train coming on through here. Scout takes so much damage from Doran. That was half of his health bar from an ult. What the heck? As Carrier tries to go for the extension there. Scout's health bar is not looking long for the world as Faker is doing so much damage. Realm Warp comes in. That's going to zone Diablo away from his base. And now Ona looks to try and take down this Ezreal. Looks like T1 are going to be focused on this turret for the moment, as somehow a siege minion got in behind the inhibitor thanks to the Realm Warp. That's very, very cute. But with Baron, I mean, this might just be the end of the game. Scout and Sponge still dead for a little while longer. The rest of Nongshim going to have to find something to get rid of T1 from their Nexus turrets. As Doran tanking up 2 of them, I don't know about that one, as now Diablo is in the fountain, and Paze doesn't care, takes down Pleta first, and is now looking to turn the damage. King is his next target. Sponge is not flag and dragging in any successful way right now, as Doran suicides onto the fountain, and T1 will take down the first Nexus of the series.
T1 have truly found...
Yeah, Owner is...
He's laughing.
I think they are throwing out some suggestions.
It's just going to be the Wukong.
It's just the Wukong.
He's not cooking.
Yeah, sorry guys. I think I must have willed that into existence. As Pleta going to go with the Nami in the end. This is a champion that he has found a fair bit of success on in the past, so it does make some sense there, but having a Bard go all the way through the draft is kind of a crazy thing.
I don't like this matchup for the Cork.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rift for game number 2, as Faker is already backflipping on Scout. And Paze taking a little bit of damage from Diablo, who's just Gatling gunning around. There is some heals thrown out. I feel like Pleta didn't get any value for his, though.
No, he did not. So 2 lanes are ruined at level 1. Oof.
Well, some Ardent Blaze damage to come on through here, as we're going to pan away. And Owner is just going to look to try and contest Sponge on his Raptor Cam. Not sure about that one, but let's see who's going to win the level 1. As Scout is rotating over, and Owner is going to have to turn tail.
He's going to have to call Faker. Faker, please.
Yeah, the Blast Cone going to cause some shenanigans here, as Owner is definitely dead. It's just who's going to kill him. That's the question. Flash over from Scout, and he will be able to collect that first blood.
Man, he almost got a kill back.
Yeah, that was
been illegal.
Competitive mid-game. I want to see, like, either side just, you know, don't get too far ahead. Give us a game. As there's a backflip from Faker. Arcane Storm does go down, and the flash comes on through. Faker finds the solo against Scout in this mid lane, and Wolf, I think maybe the pendulum has just swung back, much like our opening video, as Sponge trying to find Faker here. The Cyclone going to try and interrupt him, though, as there is the backflip, and Faker will be able to help Owner grab the kill. Oh dear, trying to kill the GOAT, always a more difficult task than you'd expect.
Yeah, it always comes at a cost even if you do get him, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes Owner is there, doesn't even have to flash to keep Faker alive. Scout's flash is down now as well. And T coming down, but he's not here yet. But they just know that Diablo has to catch that wave.
Oh, Faker going in, looking for it one more time, as Scout is just dead. Perfect execution, gets Faker out of there in the nick of time. And oh my goodness, this Akali is a problem.
So 4 dead, sorry.
Also dies. Nongshim now back in the driving seat once again. And Sponge might actually be able to grab Shelly unless T1 just decide to start a fight instead. Diablo very strong at this point in time, as Pathmaker going to deny the CC there from Doran. Tidal Wave comes on forward. Paze is able to take down Sponge, but Owner is likely to die as well. Kingin looking very low as Faker does get bubbled, but gets the work done beforehand. And now Diablo able to get that barrier down and keep himself alive. Scout now in trouble, gets pulled back, and the dash cannon comes on through. There's the Arcane Storm. Paze taking so much damage, has to flash to get out of the way. And Pleta is an angry fish, but unfortunately not fast enough to catch up to the rest of T1.
Yeah, I think probably should abandon that idea at this point and just be happy with this ward. T see the Akali or not. The same thing kind of with Rumble as well. Speaking of Rumble,
yeah,
he's not alone.
He is not. Sponge is going to rotate down. Let's see whether Doran can find anything here. He still wants it as he's got friends on the way. Pathmaker comes in. Should be able to pull Kingin out, and he does do so, but they're dancing on the barbecue, and that is the Wukong being taken down. The rest of Nongshim will turn up as well as the culling just to try and deter them. But the Arcane Storm will catch up, at least for the moment. Does finally dissipate as now Diablo with that extra movement speed. The dash is on forward and just joins up with Carrier, and Doran gets himself out of there.
All right, Faker, by the way, getting a lot of money here in the mid lane while all this is happening. Did not have TP, and I think he thought that they had enough members to actually get those kills without him.
Oh, that fire kick, just beautiful there from Carrier on the disengage.
Yeah, he's blocked Diablo twice now. Nongshim, notably the tidal wave, is going to be down here.
Oh, Diablo My God, the damage from that phosphorus bomb was just gigantic. The culling goes in. Diablo right in that front line as Doran looking to try and cut him up. They do take down the Corki. There goes the Victor. The damage is just missing outside of King, and whose equalizer does come on down. At least he gets rid of the Cassante. The now Faker looking for even more. And T1, they've got Baron on the mind. It only cost them Doran in that fight, and I think they should be able to take this.
I think there's just too many T1 members here for King to be able to stop this, and Pleta doesn't have his tidal wave. See what he can get done here, but I think this Baron is T1's.
I mean, it does still do a fair bit of damage here as Faker takes both harpoons. Kingen is super healthy at this point in time, but Ona has got Smite. They're not going to be able to stop the Baron. The question is, can they get anything off the back end of this fight? No teleports are going to be respawning, and now they're looking to just try and turn this 4 versus 2, and despite the health bars, I think that Kingen and Pleta overstayed their welcome. They were just watching as the Baron goes down, and then
they're going to deny this, and they cannot stop the Baron, nor will they get out with their lives. And what felt like a 1 game here for Nongshim is tossed to the Wolves.
Yeah, now Faker is just going to kill Sponge. 5-point strike gets him another solo kill here in this game, moving to 5-2 and 3. The Rebel Baron power play cresting the 3,000 gold mark. And remember, before that happened, Nongshim were in the lead. And now it has all just gone pear-shaped. T1 decided that the circus is over. It's time for some winning. Oh my goodness, the culling just destroys Pleta. Half of it. Enough to kill him from 100 to 0.
They're sort of ripping these turrets off the map. Inner and mid is just gone. Bottom lane, no answer. Faker's pushing these Baron minions up to the top one as well. They're now going to start to siege this inhibitor turret. 2 inhibitor turrets will be sieged here briefly as FaZe can just walk up to Scout. Like, Scout has to be careful.
Yeah, he does manage to go gold, and the Arcane Storm is doing a fair bit of work here, but they are diving this turret, and there's nothing they can do about it. Faker somehow died elsewhere on the Rift, but I'd go 3 for 1, I'd say 4 for 1, sorry, and I'd say that that's probably pretty good. Did Faker go 1 for 1? He did. So, we take those. Sponge taking a fair bit of damage here as well, but these Nexus turrets are not long for the world. Just after we were saying that we felt like we might be going to 3 games, T1 were like, hold my beer. And they are now just going to be going home with another 2-0 victory. And the Nongshim woes are going to continue, moving to 13 games in a row that they've been unable to find a victory. And as the Rebel Baron power play ticks over to about 8.2k, the Nexus will go down and T1 will claim the 2-0.
Yeah, for Faker, I do you feel pretty good about this because the Cassiopeia is gone, who can be a really tough matchup for Twisted Fate. The Rise is gone, who can obviously match that roaming as well. And you're able to have that sort of map-wide impact. Now, what will Chovy play into it is the question.
We have a bunch of top laners hovered, and it's going to be Renekton.
So I think what they're doing is they're putting Rumble mid and putting Renekton into your... Yeah, a lot of setup. Because I think one thing that Xin Zhao can struggle with, he's not the...
We got a TP coming in. This is going to take quite a while as they are slowing down Ruler basically forever. He is going to flash away, but Keria has other things in mind as he flashes forward. And that's first blood already for FaZe. We got a 2v2 in the T1 jungle as Chovy's getting in there. As he's overheated, but he's still going to be able to set up the play as Canyon over the wall, and FaZe gonna do enough damage, but immediately he falls as Chovy really kind of unchecked in this fight, it does look like, as eventually he does get polymorphed, but again, the TF just doesn't have the damage to cut through the shields as Chovy will stand at the end.
Does end up being GENG who found the advantage of... It's so crazy that Rumble's just been meta and like super high prow for the longest time. Oh, they are looking for Ona.
And Kenny kind of awkwardly gets over the wall, and he's like, well, I guess I'm going to flash away. Now the arrow comes in, and Chovy is in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have his flash just yet as the blue card comes out, and now the Impale onto 2. Kenyon just helping out there a bit as Doran now trying to help out. The Glob goes in, and now Chovy caught in the Ghoulie wall, and they dive on a Canyon too. And I suppose I shouldn't have been too worried for T1 as they execute a great play in mid.
Yeah, great setup from this last year. They will commit to this. And now what is Faker going to take? Ideally, I mean, Aurora is what you typically expect into Annie. But instead, looking towards the Anivia. Anivia, I feel like, very good into Sion at disrupting him. I feel like it's so hard to teamfight on Sion well into an Anivia. It gives this composition a ton of control. The setup for the Lee Sin is not as reliable as...
Map, he's picking up objectives again. Got that early Drake, the 3 grubs. Now Owner trying to make that Lee Sin work for him as he is down in the bottom lane. We got a TP coming in as Owner does go pretty deep on this one. We'll get rooted up, but we got 5 members of T1 here. 4 members of GENG, though, as they look for the kick. Just going to kick the clone to the side, and now Doran is in a rough spot. The Sonic Wave is going to land, though, as that is a kill going over to Owner. As we do have Ruler at least picking up one. Nice binding here on a Chovy as Owner goes very deep for that one. But certainly going to enjoy that as Ruler desperately trying to clear this wave. And I think eventually will just die, gets bound up, and that is going to be the end of him. Even get the kill over to Pace.
This felt very scrappy from T1, and for a moment I really thought it was going to go pear-shaped, but they're able to clean up the play, clean up the kills, and get a pretty significant advantage on the back approach.
And Carry ulted it, so I think they saw it started up. Either way, going to try to get Owner in position here. TP is already coming in. And might just be a flip if they don't zone them away. No, they're just going to go for the turn as Chovy takes a ton of damage, actually, from Pace and from Faker, but some low health bars here on the side of T1. As not really able to land much with that Orin ultimate. As in goes on, steals away the Baron! It might be the hero here for T1. Is able to get the objective. Pace trying to do a little bit more. As they do get Owner after the GA, as now the Jin ult going to keep people around. But not for a very long period of time, and Duro also died. So T1 still in this game.
Great steal there from Owner. He goes down to the sacrifice, but they're able to actually get a...
Yeah, Sion is really, he's just built different, as we know. Trying to get some vision. This is something that the Lux is really good at doing, actually, but not able to find Canyon. Canyon going to find himself face-to-face with his death, potentially, but Doran taking a huge amount of damage from Ruler on the top side of this fight, as Doran has to flash away. There's the binding on Akin, and all of a sudden, yeah, he's just going to flash out, and the flash response from Ruler is beautiful, able to get away from Owner, who really wanted to set that one up. Nice kick away here on Akin, not able to lock down the jungler of T1, and now Keen, not very long for this world, and will be taken down. Meanwhile, though, this Dragon will go the way of GENG as they pick up the Chemtech Soul.
Ult coming out from Ruler.
Able to do a bunch of damage already.
Oh!
Okay. That's a full build Jin.
They're still trying to collapse in. Faker has TP. They won these kills.
I think I mean, they're going to try. And just going to have to face check into a lot of lack of vision. I mean, there's a man advantage, yes.
The trap.
Carry, no! Not like this. Not to just the trap. GENG. This looks eerily like the last time when T1 were running away from them.
They have Baron recalls, though, so they just really need a little bit of time out of vision to get away, but it looks like they're just able to run this one out. Oh, Chovy's looking.
Oh, here he is.
Won't find it. But now, actually, members of recall, the carries are gone for T1.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Carry is like, well, I know that, yep. They're going to find Doran. I don't know if they get Owner, but
he got spotted, though, on the minion.
Yeah.
He's mobile enough with the Mega Cone. He should be able to get out, but...
He's got a Sion ult. I mean, there's an angle for Keen if he gets into mid lane, but yeah, no, he's just going to...
T1 not synced with so hard to deal with for T1. But I think sieging without the Baron, a little bit fruitless for GENG.
Yep. The root comes down, and now Ruler, he's just gonna die! Gets caught by Faker in his own jungle. Faker's jungle, that is now the ult away here from Keen, and GENG just trying to get away. Chovy just gonna drop a bear. There's no objective for T1 to take now, but they're going to look for the push in mid.
Yeah, so much back and forth in this game, but a phenomenal pick by Faker onto the enemy AD carry, onto Ruler. Ends up giving T1 the advantage they need to push up and start taking some structures. How far can they go? It's so difficult for GENG to approach here into this Anivia, and with no AD carry, they have to buy 30 seconds.
And they're just trying to clear the wave. You can see that it's really up to Duro. Canning going to find himself face-to-face with Owner and just has a blast cone to get away. They're still kind of 1v1ing up there, by the way. This inhibitor is going to fall. It's very late in the game. T1, 14 seconds here on Ruler. As Duro keeps hitting these big Mantra Qs. Not always the difference maker, but if you give him enough time, can certainly do that as we have the trap set and an escape path for T1.
Okay, a lot of structures taken by T1, but they can't push into the Nexus towers. With Keen there as a blocker, they're able to clear the waves well. The junglers being without flash definitely makes it very delicate, given that they're going to be the focus, I feel, coming into this Elder fight. in most fights, the AD carry is the focus, but here, when one smite can just dictate the game, Canyon and Ona will be at the forefront. To level 20 on both these tanks, by the way.
Oh, he's just going to ult in as Chovy goes over the wall and nearly dies. Pays. Oh, he's going to flash on him, but Pays is still alive. Flashes on Chovy. Takes the down. Pays is taking names, and he's looking to win this game, but he's in the thick of it. But now Faker, he's there as well, carrying it up. As Ruler's on the left side of this fight, just doing a lot of damage as well. Canyon going to go down, but now it's all up to Ruler up against Faker, it looks like, in this fight. As Pays has fallen, and maybe Pays, you know, Pays did so much, but he also died very early on in this fight. As now T1, again, we're having this setup where they're behind enemy lines. Another binding's gonna come down here. Duro just trying to keep them around, but it's not gonna work out. We got a Jin and a TP. Trying to keep it in this one. And it's really, it's gonna be up to Ruler. He's gotta have good positioning. He doesn't have his summoners anymore. As TP comes in, he has a massive shield. I don't think that Owner and Carry alone can deal with the Scion.
If Owner dies, if he dies, it's Elder.
Yeah, we got a TP coming in. You can see that T1, they know about this as well. They're like, we got to fight for it right here, right now. Ruler not really able to get in vision.
Shield is ridiculous. The shield for the TP combined with his personal shield. Looks like the respawns are going to come in. Fake has to deal with this top wave.
Longest game of the LCK this year.
Does not surprise me. T1 GENG often delivers. We're going to reset, but it's Ruler starting up the Elder. TP coming in from Doran to disrupt, and Ona's pretty close by, but Canyon is making his way over. Elder now going to be the focus point, but so many summoners were bid in that fight. In fact, only Faker has his flash available. And we saw GA's burnt as well.
Yeah, and that's a really important flash for him to have. You see Owner's down on the bottom side. Canyon maybe going to find him. Both these junglers, as you mentioned, the keys of this one, as that wall is going to deny. Faker's been so good with his walls in this game. As now the jungler's looking to collapse. Canyon's got an angle on that backline. Pays in a bit of trouble, but the kick is there. But now the Elder in position for maybe the smite to go, and it goes to Owner again. As he's able to steal it, this guy will not be stopped. As Keen, nearly unkillable, but eventually he will fall to the Elder burn. As now the flash wall comes in. Chovy, though, looking to turn it onto Faker, but it's only the egg that he gets. And Pays still alive. They're looking to take him down, but they will not be successful. Ruler, still alive, still has a full health bar, and still looking for more. Pays has done 14k damage in the one fight. As T1 are looking to push mid.
They're pushing up, and we see Genji's bot lane trying to move over and respond if Carrier finds them, but he won't. Oh, doesn't with the ultimate. If you stop those recalls, that could have just been game.
Yeah.
They're going to try and make the push happen. Pays now full HP because of the Bloodthirster, but Ruler and Duro are there. It's long timers on the respawn.
The kick is good! And T1 will be winning game number 2. Duro goes down, and in 50 minutes, T1 come back and bring us to game number 3.
Such a marathon was that game, and but you are going to get poked a good amount by this lane in opposition. Chovy considering the Talia as an option, a pick that did get buffed slightly, and we've seen a bit more prevalence.
Talia Pantheon as
Talia
well.
Pantheon, a really strong combo, yeah, and especially for the Vi. This is not fun to play into. Pressure being put on here. Look at the CS difference between the AD carries. They wanted to poke them out.
Well, that's just going to be reflected as they're really desperately trying to make something of this. Instead, it is going to be GENG that write their own fate in the death node at this point, as Ruler 1v3 is going to flash, but no tower aggro taken just yet. They're just following him around. As Pays does a little bit of damage, he's able to get out of there. Owner does have to flash, but it's still a winning play here for T1. Now 2-0-1 for Pays as well.
Even with some mishaps on the back end, still ends up being a kill. You know, Carrier had Ignite as well and Flash. Really just very the difference.
Yeah, just zero map pressure at all. You can see that Canyon is trying to hang around the bottom side just in case. Maybe just waiting for his Gromp to spawn. Because I mean, Pays has shown many times that he's like, okay, I'm going to clear this wave and just back away because doesn't want to pressure that turret. And actually now Pays is in the mid lane as they're looking for this play on the Chovy. Hextech Ultimatum comes down, and eventually you just die. I mean, there's nobody there to save him. Duro also in this one as Owner takes him down. And even the flash burn from Duro doesn't help him at all. T1 just totally controlling everything in this game.
Playing around the setup from this Vi Camille, the decisiveness these picks have.
Even he is going to have to flash away. We do have a wall coming down. Ruler also able to get out. Owner forced to flash away himself as this TP comes in from Keen Sante. Going to get on top of Pays. But there's really not much follow-up. I think for GENG, at least they don't die. That's kind of all they can be happy about at this point.
Yeah, no ults from Owner and Carrier make that a trickier one to start off, but Canyon, at this HP, going into the Herald Pit, very risky. And we can see, Doran's looking
The Herald does damage.
Look at Doran, he's trying to find poke from the top side. If he hits Canyon with a Shock Blast, he might just die.
He might just die right here. Like, Canyon needs to be so careful as Shock Blast is going to hit him, and Canyon, yeah, he just dies. GENG desperate to try to set something up on this objective, and they will be punished heavily for it. T1 immediately call the bluff. Ascaria is in that backline trying to take out Ruler. At least Chovy's able to peel for that, but
They won't let them get away.
not for long as Doran knocks it down. And T1, they're looking for Chovy here as well. Chovy doesn't have flash. Used it to get that kill earlier as in goes Owner. He's got a shield.
And he gets out.
In and he gets out.
Beautifully played there by Owner. The angle from Doran, not much you can do. Oh, they're going in again.
Yeah, looking for a play here on a Canyon. Duro desperately trying to just peel, and he doesn't exist, as I've said many times in this game. And now still trying to fight her, GENG, trying to fight behind this Cassante, but in goes Carrier again, sets it up, and they just keep baiting GENG into this fight. We got a TP in from Chovy. He's going to be going down here as well. It is a landslide victory so far for T1.
They are absolutely crushing them. 17-3 at 17 minutes. T1 alone have a kill a minute at this point of the game. And with how close game 2 was, an absolute slugfest that took everything from both teams to get to the end of it. Keeps hitting Shock Blast onto Ruler, and it's definitely not helping GENG.
All right, gonna force the flash out of Doran. That is something, I suppose.
Okay, T1 focusing their attentions around mid, and that's given a window in. GENG.
And they're just going to try to flash in and burst down one target. They do take out Pays, actually. Ruler getting pretty low, but he will survive for now. Carrier, though, going to make quick work of him. And eventually it's only Chovy as the carry who's left over. And GENG, I think they sent it about as well as they possibly could have. But at the end of the day, T1 will continue with the dominance, and they will pick up this Ocean Soul.
Even with this Giga-fed 7 kills Mel, getting one shot at the start, they just have that full Zhonya's now for a bit of defense, and GENG moving in to clear out some vision. Another factor is there's a lot of poke from T1. With the Jace, with the Mel, they can get down early, can make a big difference. I like how Owner was walking there, was like, maybe I find someone, but it's the,
they're going to go in for a pick here. I mean, Canyon just isolated, and he will be taken down. Duro, though, wants to continue the fight. Not much follow-up there for the side of GENG, but Keen, pretty gigantic, and now Faker looking to flash over the wall. Might just have the damage. Ruler is isolated, and they do take him down this time around. Keen still uncontrolled, but it's only Keen as he will flash on in to try to save Chovy, and he will be able to. And all of a sudden, okay, Keen is going to go down. It was looking like maybe we had something brewing here for GENG, but it's still T1 to win the fight, take the ace, 1,500 kills for Owner, and that's a good fight to get it on.
And what a game, honestly, to get it on. Owner has been instrumental for T1 in this one, and honestly, last game, getting like the secure on the Elder Dragon. They will be able to dispatch GENG.
Something here on the side of GENG. The question is really, where is it going to be? It looks like T1 main siege is up on the top side of the map.
Okay, 20 seconds, last wave. If you have to give up the tower, then do it.
Yeah. There's the wall. I mean, that's a little bit lackluster. Doesn't really do anything, and now Chovy's out of position. Straight on the Miasma. Does go golden, but that just means that the Cassante is dead, and so is Chovy. Ruler gonna get ulted as Duro's trying to peel, but the Elder is too strong, and so are T1. Right? Guys? Okay, Ruler is going to get the kill, but we still have Elder.
Wait,
no,
it's
Elder's
2v2.
down.
Elder's down.
But they have Baron, so they've got a big wave. This is the two carries of T1 that aren't quite strong at this point in time. Canyon. Oh, that's
the
gonna be a
reflect.
reflect on the missile. Not able to get the root here on the ruler, but I think eventually in the extended fight, no, he's going to miss the poison.
If you can get some health back, Duro's up in 10. It might be an open Nexus, but they might be able to defend the base.
This is so silly. How are T1 not able to end this game here? Miasma comes in, Canyon maybe a little bit too far forward, but he's able to frontline. Pays though, gets on in there and shuts it down and says, no, the game is over, guys. Enough. I've had enough of this, says Pays. I will win the game for my team, and not the first time either. T1, they take Saturday Showdown in a